Welcome back to African Air Ordnance. Today I'm just going to show you guys the new upgrade kit for the Vulcan 3. This kit is probably one of the most comprehensive kits on the market, and I will walk you guys through everything that's in the kit. First, we have all the O-rings for the air tube. We then also have two different hammer springs, as well as a smaller spring which is to prevent hammer bounce. We have a bottle adapter so that you can take any aftermarket carbon fiber bottle and attach it to your Vulcan 3. We also have a depinger, which is designed to get rid of that annoying ping in the air tube when you fire the gun. There's also the anti-creep plate for the regulator, and we also have two plates for the magazines, and installing these plates will allow you to use 40 grain slugs in your mags without having any problem with indexing. Guys, all the parts that you see in front of you, not one is a 3D printed part, they all are machine parts. The plates are machined from plate steel. The depinger is machined out of acetyl, which is an extremely strong engineering plastic, and the bottle adapter is made out of EN19T, which is an exceptionally strong steel that we use in all our 4500 psi valves. Alright, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how we're going to install each of these parts onto the Vulcan 3. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is show you guys how to install the modification for the magazine. First, we're going to remove the original plastic plate. Okay. Next thing we've got to do is we've got to take these spacers and we've got to put one spacer by each of the holes. Okay. Make sure they're all nicely in place. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to install the plate. Push it down, just like that. And then what I like to do is I just like to to make sure that each of those O-rings, spacers, is in its position. Next thing, we're going to install the little screws back in. These little guys are quite finicky. Okay, just like that. Just like that. You obviously don't want to torque these guys down. Just want to get them in there nice and firm. Just like that. Alright, next you want to make sure that that's obviously moving nice and free, and we also just make sure that the heads are sitting flush with the back of the magazine. So the best way to do that is put it on its side, do a couple of turns, just like that, just like that. Because if the screws protrude, then what you find will happen is that it won't insert into the rifle. Okay. So that is how you install the mag modification plate. Alright, so I've got some Zan Slugs with me here, and these are 40 grain, just to demonstrate to you guys the reason that they don't fit. So here's an original mag, and we will index it. We'll put around it. Now we go load. You can see the mag cannot index further back than that. The slug is just too long for the original, the way the mag is set up originally. Now with the mag modification, we can slide around in there. Now we can move on to the next round and the next round. And these are all 40 grain Zan Slugs. So as you can see, if I'll push the slug out, mag indexes, no problem. So that, guys, is the mag modification for the upgrade kit from African Air Ordnance. So I've already disassembled the gun. I will link the previous video to show you how to actually tear down the gun. So this is, again, it's just a time saving thing. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to install the regulator anti-creep plate, and we're just going to pop it, push it down the tube, just like that. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put back the regulator. This can take quite a bit of effort to get in. Just getting the regulator O-rings. So now that's the anti-creep plate installed. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the depinger in. Okay, so just going to put the little O-ring on, and we're going to install, just going to push it in. And next thing we're going to put in what came with the gun. This was the regulator spacer. So we're going to put this in. This is going to create a space between the valve and the depinger. So I'm going to screw the valve assembly back in. Again, always difficult to get started. So screw that back in quickly. Okay, so now that's the air tube itself taking care of the valve. It's got the depinger, got the regulator anti-creep plate, the regulator's in there. Okay, so set that aside. The next thing we want to do is we want to remove the bottle so that we can install a new bottle adapter. So simply just going to unscrew that. And the reason for the bottle adapter is so that we can put a nice big 700cc carbon fiber cylinder on. So this just simply unscrews. Okay, just like that. So I'm just going to set that bottle aside. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the old O-ring. You don't have to, but it helps to, again, it's new, we're replacing it. Okay. We're just going to install the new O-ring, just like that. Okay. And then we're going to screw a new bottle adapter, which has got an M18 by 1.5 through, which is the industry standard. That just screws on like that. Again, you just have to hand tighten this. We did machine flats on the side so that if you want to use as one of the adjusting wrenches, it's easy, you don't need any special tooling for that. Next thing, guys, we want to put an O-ring on. Okay. This is for the bottle. So it's just like that. Just sits like that. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install our big, beautiful 700cc carbon fiber cylinder. Okay. And those two just screw in like that. Just like that. So now we can have more air and we'll get a few more shots. Okay. So this you just want to snug up nice, just like that. Okay. So that, guys, is how you install the new bottle adapter, the anti-creep plate for the reg, and the depinger. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. And then all you're going to do now is simply reinstall that on there. Okay. So that's just going to snug up just like that. And then we'll obviously, before we install, we'll make sure that's all on. So that's how you upgrade the air system with the new kit from African Air Ordnance. Alright, next thing we want to do is we want to install one of the new hammer springs. The reason there are two main hammer springs is that it gets you the opportunity to really experiment. You can really increase your plenum pressure that's after the regulator. So it just gives you quite a nice scope to go with. First thing you want to do is you want to move this side plate. It's just going to make things a lot easier. Alright, let me just lift that plate off. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to loosen the grub screw. That basically what this does is just prevents the hammer spring from backing out. Okay. And the next, as you guys can see, here's the little hammer spring plate, the tensioner. We're just going to take an Allen key and we're just going to take it out. Alright. Okay. So next we want to remove the hammer spring. I'm just going to take the hammer out just to show you guys. Okay. Also it helps to put in. So how we're going to install this is first we're going to put in. This little spring here is going to prevent the hammer bounce. Okay. So we're just going to install that back in. Okay, just like that. So we're going to install the black spring. This is the spring that I like the most. So you guys can see there's a bit of a difference between, that's the original there. Okay. So we're not going to install the extra strong spring. That we can use. You guys, it's just there if you guys want to experiment with power levels and regulates levels. So I found that this spring here is plenty enough. So now we're just going to install that just like that behind there, just onto the hammer. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to reinstall like this spring tensioner. That. Okay, it gets quite nice and hard. And my suggestion is that when you first install this, that you just install it flush with the back of the plate here, okay? And you're going to give it a test. So just flush like that. Do one more turn, okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tighten the grub screw so it locks it in place. Alright, okay. So, and then what you want to do is you do want to give it a test, okay, just like that. Okay, you guys are going to find it's considerably more powerful than the factory original, okay, so, which is the point. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this plate back in, cover plate. Just like that. Take little screws. Hopefully with the gloves I can get them back in. Just like that. And these, you don't really want to torque these down too hard. Once it bites, just do a little quarter turn there. Because again, it's just holding the cover on. Oops. These little finicky screws. Okay. Again, not too tight, just a little quarter turn there. Okay. Make sure these guys are line up straight. There we go. Snug. Alright, so that's how you install the new hammer spring into the Vulcan 3. So the next thing what we'll do is we're going to head to the range, we're going to reassemble everything. Also, I will link the video for the whole disassembly and assembly below, so that's just again to save time. Alright, see you guys at the range. We're back at the range. So just to go over quickly what we've done to the Vulcan. We replaced the hammer spring with a much stronger hammer spring. We put in a depinger to get rid of that annoying twang. We've also put in a regulator anti-creep plate so that there's much better consistency over time. You don't get any regulator creep. And the biggest part, I think, one of the nicest things is we put in a nice big carbon fiber bottle with that bottle adapter. So it's a 700cc carbon fiber bottle. The last thing we did was we did the modifications to the magazines with the new mag plates. And I gotta say, it's going to be awesome shooting 40 grain slugs without having to load them one at a time. So guys, next thing is we're going to be shooting the Zans in 40 grain, 218 size. We've got the 4 mags loaded up. Alright, let's start off with mag 1. That was mag 1. Alright, let's see how mag number 2 does. Alright, that was mag number 2. Alright, let's see how mag number 3 does. but that's mag number 3. So that was 36 shots all over 1,000 feet per second. Alright, let's do mag number 4. Alright, so that was mag number 4. Alright, so there you guys have it. Those are 4 magazines, it's 48 shots. 36 of those shots were over 1,000 feet per second. The thing I noticed is the Zan Slugs, they really do like that higher velocity. So as the velocity dropped below 900 in the fourth target, sorry, not below 900, below 1,000 feet per second, that group's early started to open up. Granted guys, I'm not the best shot in the world. I'm sure there's plenty of you guys that can really tighten up those groups even tighter than that. But for 85 yards, pretty happy with that myself. I must say that I really do like not having that deafening pinging noise happening in my ear, which always leaves my ears ringing after a while, so that was awesome. And also very happy with the shot-to-shot consistency. One thing to notice about this chronograph, that when you have a duplicate shot, like the same velocity from the one shot to the next shot, it'll say duplicate on that monitor, but it won't say duplicate on this. So when you see that the speed hasn't changed, take it when I fired, that's because the speed is exactly the same speed. But it does list it as it's going down on the shot count. So very happy with that. Guys, if you guys want to order the upgrade parts for the Vulcan, I'll just put a link down below for AfricanAirOrdnance.com. And the next thing is, on the next video I've got something exciting that's arriving, so please stay tuned for that. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.